Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. And as always, we'll start with EVE Online, which has been a little bit less than average in EVE Online. I think this is partly due to the fact that there has been an incursion around Tital the whole week, or pretty much the whole week, and well, I don't really do incursions, so I've been following up on my mission grind. I did manage to get the rep up to 5 point something, so that I can now handle or get missions from level 4 agents, but the next step is going to be to build up a rattlesnake in order to get started on that mission running ship. The problem with that is that I'm not sure about the fit exactly, so we'll see how that works out, but I bought a rattlesnake in Solitude on a contract, and that one was fitted with Tech 2 cruise missile launchers, which I think makes a lot of sense for a mission running ship for PvE content. The problem is I don't have the skills for that yet, so I'm currently skilling up to those Tech 2 launchers. Then I'm hoping to get a nice fit together for missions and then get the third rattlesnake in Tital ready for a little bit of level 4 mission running, see how all of that works out, and just have that base of operation ready as well. So I do have a rattlesnake in Solitude already, and I have one in Iona as well, which is not fitted the way that I want to, but we'll figure that out as it goes. Next to that, I did keep up with the blueprint copy business, but it's not been a great week. I think maybe 5 or 6 sales every 2 days is what I managed to do. And of course there is another culprit. I did play another game, so the reason I played a little bit less is first of all, of course, the incursion, so I didn't really have time to do a lot around Detail, and the fact that I started the Elder Scrolls Online expansion, but more on that in a second. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about Heroes of the Storm. I've been playing a decent amount of Heroes of the Storm. Actually, there have been a couple of days where I may have played a little bit too much of it, so I'm not exactly sure how it's working, because at the moment when I do play Heroes of the Storm, I'm having a lot of fun, and it is pretty addictive to keep going and try to complete the quests, but from time to time I also get like a pretty frustrating run of losses when my daily quest is to win 3 games, and that's when I get worked up a little bit. So I need to find a bit of a better pace to do this casual Heroes of the Storm thing, and I think basically at the moment what I should do is basically go back to the minimum amount of games, which means letting all daily quests run up to 3 and then wait for the right quest that I can finish very easily. Stuff like play 2 games with a StarCraft hero or play 2 games with a brawler, something like that, are easy to combine quests that will also work on the 2 daily quests that I constantly see coming back, which is to play 8 games and win 3 games. But I think that there is basically a more casual way for me to go through those quests. At the moment, I've basically been almost keeping the daily quests empty and doing the one that I get every day, which is mostly to play 8 games or to win 3 games, which from time to time, I mean, it is still a MOBA, and if you get a couple of bad games, which is not mostly due to other players, it's mostly due to my own mistakes and my own bad plays, but that still becomes pretty frustrating. So I would say if you're playing Heroes of the Storm, but like me, you want a casual experience, you want something that you can basically keep doing. I can't keep up with a pace where I play 8 or 10 games a day. That just is not something that I can do. Then maybe look for the minimal amount of games in order to complete the daily quests, which in the end I think will be maybe like 2 games a day or something like that, because your third quest should always be one that is pretty easy to complete. But I'm still having fun with Heroes of the Storm. I did buy Ragnaros, but I'm not enjoying him. For some reason, melee characters are not my thing, but we'll see. Maybe I'll keep up with like a video a week or something like that on some of the fun games that I've been having there. For our third game this week, I played a bit more Banished, but it's not been all that much. It's basically been finishing up the town that I've been making. So I think it worked out in the end, but I did require a bit of a switch to food production in order to keep up with the population growth and not run out of food. So at one point that was a real threat, but now I've basically put up every city center, I would call them, you know, so it's a market surrounded by 24 houses They get all the supplies that they need very easily that way, but I just don't have room for more of those. So there are no more wider open plains where I could put one of those down. So all I can really do is just add a little bit of extra stuff on the edges, which I don't fancy doing to the extreme. So I would say I would consider this current banished town as being completed. It was a very nice experience. It was a very nice little pattern that I tried there. So next up, I think I'll maybe just wait out for banished a little bit until I get a new idea, start a new town there when I need to do a little bit of a relaxing. But it's been quite satisfying to be able to complete the town the way I did. I think I have like 8 or 9 of those forest trees that also produce food and wood and everything like that. And I have a pretty balanced city where everything keeps slowly growing, or at least the city can maintain most of the production in-house and keep basically keep everything nicely stocked except for booze. So I don't produce enough alcohol, but I'm not going to fix that one. So the banished town is basically completed. I think in the end I managed to go to like 1300 adults and maybe 600 children was the end state, which is also like the highest population that I got as well. But it's a very nice game. Banished is still one of those favorite games that I do go back to every time, especially when I feel like I'm a little bit exhausted, I need to just relax. Then I've just been grabbing a little bit of banished, and this town has grown quite nicely. Basically the entire map is now filled up with the pattern as much as possible, and well, the details I'm not going to add even more just to try and push everything to the limits. This feels pretty good to me, and I'm going to stop playing this banished town at this point. Maybe I'll make a video on that. Not sure if there's a lot of interest for an extra video on banished, but I'll keep the save game. Maybe I'll can show you guys everything that I've done there at a later time. And for my final game, we have the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. I bought the expansion, basically the trailer and one video where there was like I don't know, convention or something like that, with people talking about how excited they were to revisit Morrowind, and that grabbed me because Morrowind is one of those games that I'll never forget. My first RPG, really. I spent hundreds, if not a few thousand hours in Morrowind. I created every sort of character, and I still think that it has the coolest enchantment system, although you could become completely overpowered through it. It was not that easy to get to that point, and I felt like, yeah, it had more potential in that enchanting system that did make it fun to try and basically break the game or become super powerful in the game and then play through the quest that way. For me, that was an incredible experience, and in the Elder Scrolls Online, at least graphics wise, you're back there. You're back in Morrowind. It's the exact same scale. Everything is in the right place. There are of course different details. The graphics are much better. The Silt Striders, they look pretty damn amazing. Vivec City is being built there in the Elder Scrolls Online. You do meet Vivec very early on, which is maybe a little bit of, well, a choice that I would not have made coming from having played Morrowind, where basically meeting Vivec, the living god, is something that they'll keep for a little bit later on. But I'm pretty sure that you could also like do quest lines around the world before you go straight to Vivec and talk to him about that quest line. But I'm going to make a series on that. Basically at the moment I am playing through that main quest, which involves Vivec quite heavily, and I'm recording most of that in separate videos. But so far for me, yeah, they managed to get everything right, especially on the graphics and the feel of the world of Morrowind. You've got a lot of throwbacks, a lot of stuff that you remember, you know, like the town names, the way the towns look. Some of the dungeons even, they're exactly where they are in the Morrowind games as well. And you've got a pretty cool story here so far, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to keep playing this a little bit longer than what I did with the Khajiit character, but that does mean that I once again have to work on my pacing a little bit, which is not that easy if I want to play through the main quest first, and I'll basically have this video series ready. Very little motivation to keep playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online next to that. So far I personally am enjoying the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. I think the world looks absolutely amazing, and that's again one of the reasons why I played less EVE Online, because I did dive head first into some more Elder Scrolls Online, and so far it's been a lot of fun. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.